Okay, so there are 4 Iddhipadas, right? There is a sutta. Right? Okay. So now here it is written as psychic power. There is not a psychic power. Iddhi is a word used in Pali to say success or achievement, and in Sanskrit it is siddhi, means you develop or you gain. It's about gaining. So, hi Mirin, morning, namaste. So, what it is saying here is that katam bhikkave bhavita cha bhikkave chattaro iddhipada katam bahulikata mahapala honti maha nisamisa. So samisa and niramisa are the two things we need to know. Samisa means happiness.
I think it says nisamsa. Nisamsa.
Nisamsa. Sorry. Thanks. Yeah, let me go to the text rather than reading through the screen. Yeah. Mahanisamsa. That means when you are immersed in that, okay. Maha is high, Nisamsa is one who has got into it, meaning he is completely soaked into it. So, Katam Bhavita, it is how does it happen? Cha bhikkave chattaro iddhipada katam bahuli kata mahaphala. That means it stays for a long time and it gives you fruit. So, first one is Chanda iddhipada sankhara samannagatam iddhipadam bhaveti. So this is a very big word, so we'll cut it into many parts of it. Chanda means interest. So first and foremost, we need to have an interest. And it can have worldly interest, it can have this interest also. That is Lokiya and Lokuttara. Lokiya is worldly and Lokuttara is something you're gone beyond the world, beyond the worldly convention. But for both of them, you require Chanda. Chanda is written as desire, and sometimes it is used as what is that? Enthusiasm and all that. So rather like that, it is like basic interest towards something. So we all have interest. Okay. Just like we are all meeting. So we are meeting because we are interested in meeting. So first, the Chanda should be there. If Chanda is there, then you require Samadhi. Now, what is Samadhi? Again, it is Sama and Adi. Sama is equal. Okay. And Adi is to stay, to be in that state, in that equanimous state. Okay. That is Samadhi. Now, they use the word concentration, which is also okay, because to do something, you not only have to have an interest, you also need to concentrate on that. Meaning you have to put your mind on that particular thing. Otherwise, it can't be achieved. Even in the worldly affair, we need to be putting that. Here also we are putting that. So it says, Chanda Samadhi Iddhi Samadhi Padhana Sankhara Samannagatam. Padhana is Pradhana, foremost. Samannagatam. That means Samanna Agata. Agata is to come. Samannagata means whatever I put as a foremost will come. Either Chanda and Samadhi are going to come. Iddhipadam bhaveti. So, first he will see how is his Chanda and how is his Samadhi. Is he able to? In anything he does, anything I do or you do or anybody does, it depends on the amount of interest. We have to go somewhere, they should be interested. When you go there, you should be able to be with that. That's a siddhi. It is the success. Okay. Now what he says that iti me chando nacho atilino. Okay. Atilina. Lina in Pali means to bend. Linati means bending. It's too much bent. Means what? It is not proper. Meaning it is lax. That's the reason let's use the word lax. Okay. Lina. Na ati paghahito. Paghahito means twisting it. Completely twisted. Paghana is to make it thick, make it very, what we can say, rigid. Okay. And that because if it is rigid, they have used the word tense. Okay. And then bhavisati nacha ajhattam sankhitto bhavisati nacha bahiddo vikhitto bhavisati. Sankitta is a chitta also, so it is constricted. So when there is this, what we can say, when the chanda and the samadhi is not properly done, it means it's lean, it's totally bent over, it's not firm on one side, and it is very constricted, held on the other side, then the siddhi will not happen. Both worldly and out of the world experience, both wouldn't happen. So the first thing I need to do is to establish in a proper way. So what he says here, and they pacha puri sanni cha viharati. So they pacha, they see, puri sanni, that is completely perceive. Okay. Viharati, he stays. So what he says stays. So he will see whether it is sankitta and vikhito. Scattered is one side, constricted is another side. Okay, so both are chitta, vikhita chitta and sankitta chitta. Both are going to be there. When it is tense, tense means hardened. It is sankitta. It's too lax, too released. It means it is vikhita, it becomes scattered. What do you mean by that? So let's understand in a proper way. I want to sit for meditation, let's say, and I'm putting a lot of strain. I want to watch the breath. I've been told to watch the breath, so I'm making it more and more hard. I'm not able to watch the breath because of the very reason that I want to watch it. It becomes constricted. So sankitta. And on the other side, I'll think, okay, I'll not watch the breath anymore. I'm tired of it. I don't want it. It's vikhita. Okay, so we shouldn't be doing both of them, because both are an extreme. One side sankhita, one side vikhita. So yatha pure tata pacha tata pure. Pacha and pure. Pure is after. Pacha is before. Same as before or after. He keeps on checking. Is the interest and samadhi happening in as it was before, or is constricted still now, or it is distracted, or rather it is scattered. Vikhita is scattered. So what he does then is that as below, yatha adho tata uddam tata adho, yatha diva tata rattim tata diva, iti vivattena cetasa apariyonadena sappabhasam chittam bhaveti. So they watch, when they say up and down, doesn't mean that you're making your chitta go up and down. You're watching in all direction, how it is. How it is, how it is. Am I losing interest? Am I having too much of interest? Too much of interest causes restlessness because it creates anxiety. So samadhi cannot be achieved. So if it is too constricted, also is a problem, and too opened up is also a problem. So he sees Uddham Adho, okay, above and below, and Rattim Diva. Diva means day, Rattim means night. So by the day and by the night. What is he trying to say? Is to observe. It's just an observation. As observer effect, like what we were talking about earlier on. Just observe. As you start observing, the mind knows how to observe. Just like learning bike for the first time, I'm in scared. So I will have constricted feeling now. So the chitta is constricted, thinking that somebody is going to hit me. So Aryu, my friend, will then say that, Vilas, you need to ride the bike in this way. Look at me. I'm riding, right? I'm riding. You see, have I fallen? No. He on the bike, he's balancing, right? He is not too constricted, nor is too laxing. He's totally in that. So samadhi should be there for cycling or for biking, right? Otherwise, you will fall down. So when I sit on the bike, first time, I have a constricted mind. Why? Because it is not established. So the chanda and samadhi, both of them, interest is there, but samadhi is not there. So this we can see. Like Aryu, your son, now he can ride the bike more comfortably. Now you got him a bike and he is riding, his friends are going, you are going. So nobody thinks about it, no longer worries about the road or the traffic light or whatever you are. And he is able to go in that small lane meant for the cyclist or for the biker. So you're going there, or he's going there. So he's not worried. And you are not worried either. Why? Because the chanda samadhi has happened. Is that a good example, Aryu? Because you can really see it. In the same way, when we are watching the breath or six senses, we should not be too laxing or not too restricting. Otherwise, it will not work. So I want to get an experience. I want to have an observer effect. Yes, very good. You should have that interest. For that, I can't be tightening it and I can't be totally loosening it. You should find the balance, just like the bike, just like the car. The first few days of car driving is literally a pain. I don't think so any one of us have not faced that pain of driving the car. And you have to pass that test also to get a license. Okay? And you have to park the car, you have to back the car, you have to park it in the parking lot, you have to park in between two cars, and so many things are there. So everyone undergoes this torture. It's a torture, but yes, we need to undergo the torture. Right? So we can see it. That's a fact. Okay, so this is about the chanda. And so, iti vivattena cetasa aparyonadhena sappabhasam chittam bhaveti. So he will not judge. Apariyo nada is not to judge, not to hold on to, not to cover it up. So he will open whatever comes, he will observe, right? And hence it is written as unenveloped heart. Apariyona hena sabbhasam chittam bhaveti. Here they put heart, it's a mind. And since main place where the mind resides in the heart, they are put there as heart. So he will see, when it's open, his mind is full of radiance. Yes, Saryu.
I was just thinking when you're describing learning to drive the car, I was thinking some people can have a good experience even during the learning process.
Yep.
Given that the difficulty they take on is just the right amount, not too much overwhelming, but also not losing interest. But just the amount of good interest for the learning process, that process itself becomes samadhi and becomes joyful.
Yes. That's correct. They might know or they might not know. So they know how to balance it. Like when my son was driving his car, he was learning to drive his car. He was scared. Scared means sankitta. Talking on the phone, talking to someone while he's supposed to be riding, yes, and he's learning. So it is vikhitta. Right? You can see it, right? Scattered. Like your son, you're teaching him to ride the bike, and then instead of seeing how you're riding, he will start talking, he will start doing something, and he will not sit in a proper way, and he falls down, etc., etc. That is vikhitta. So you will say that, why are you so distracted? Why don't you properly ride the bike? And he says, hey, Dad, I'm trying to do that. But he's not able to do it because he doesn't have the balance of the mind. He's not able to balance between the sankitta and the vikhitta. What's the point? We can see it in our daily lives. You don't have to go into something else. You can see it in daily life. In everything we do, we'll have sankitta, vikhitta. If somebody blames us, we get into sankitta. If the boss were to shout or give a feedback which is not liked, instantaneously the mind becomes sankitta. Yes, Aryu, you had a question.
Oh, I was just reminded of this ADHD patient, right? They're always in vikhitta.
Yes.
And then, but sometime one or the other time they can get completely consumed by something. They got into so much absorption and they forgot also. You can get into that.
Yes. So whatever we call as an absent-minded person is vikhitta. He can't remember what he was doing. Okay. Is that a disease? Yes. It's a disease. Of what? Of the mind. Because it's not in ease. Why it is vikhitta? Because too many activities are happening and the person doesn't know which one to prioritize. So then this person is worked up. So that's the reason he's saying that by the day, by the night, by above, below, like that. You keep on watching and watching and watching and watching so that you can find the vikhitta, scatteredness. Many people, they will forget. Let's say, simple examples. There is need to fill up the drinking water. 5 minutes ago, I remembered I need to fill up the water. And then something happened and I forgot all about the water to be filled. So what happens? There's no drinking water. Then suddenly I remember that, oh, I need to have water. And when I go and try to drink water, there's no water. Now I have to fill it up. By which time somebody calls me. So then I forget all about that and come and take the call. And he says, why don't you come? We will go out. And then I will lock the door and go home. Go to that place. but I have switched on the water purifier to fill up the water. Then when I'm halfway through on the road, I remember, oh shit, you know what? I have left that tap open. So then I will take a cab and come back home, and then I will turn it off. And then my friend says, okay, we are not going to this mall. We are going to that mall. I forget that. And then I go to that mall where I shouldn't be going there. Then I give a call to him. He says that, my idiot, when did I tell? We told you, right? We will not be there in that mall. You remember you went away for that water thing, and then we said to you, now you take this and come here. And another friend says that another half an hour we would be going somewhere else. So then this whole thing is vikkhitta. Yes.
Yeah, so his animals, this zoo is completely chaotic. The animals are fighting.
Yes.
6 animals are there.
6 animals are fighting. So now this observer effect is not there. This is where the sati is not there. So what we are talking sati is this. It knows. Whereas I don't have that. I am totally distracted, one scattered, another side. So I have no idea. So now if somebody says something to me, yeah, you are an absent-minded person, and then I feel really constricted. Why? Because I'm blamed. They're not able to see my pain. I'm doing my best to remember, but what to do? My mind is so scattered. So can I do samadhi then? No. Because the chanda will not be there. And now you might think, how? If it was not true, then he wouldn't have been so distracted. Got the point? Yes.
And I was thinking that depressed people will be completely in Sankhita because the mind is dwelling.
Yes. Depression is Sankhita. Absent-mindedism is Vikkhitta. And that's the reason it's called absent-mindedism. What is absent? Awareness is absent. Right? We use that word also. Hey, you are absent-minded person, I'm telling you. Right? So what is absent? Absence of sati, awareness. So we need to build in awareness. Got the point? Okay. Hi, Shreyas. So this is after we finish, you can share your experience. It is very nice. His experience is too good. So we'll hear to his. So this is the first part on the chanda. Now virya. Again, the same problem. What's the problem? Sankhita, Vikkhitta. I will either put too much of energy and get exhausted, or I'll become so sluggish. Okay, you want me to sit? I'll tell you what, Ariu, today seemingly like rainy day here. I'm not feeling interested today. I put energy, man. Yeah, I had Red Bull, but then it didn't do anything. In fact, now I'm feeling more sleepy than what I was. So I had a energy drink already. Okay. So what's the problem here? The problem here is that virya samadhi is not happening. So chanda samadhi is one. There is no virya samadhi. I might think virya and samadhi, how does it go together? Yes. Samadhi here is you need to establish a particular state. If I am recognizing you as Ariu, there is already a samadhi. If I am recognizing somebody as Shreyas, then I have a particular samadhi, because without that samadhi, how can you even know what the person is? So there is samadhi. So first we'll understand the worldly things, and then we can see the other side of the world things, right? In a worldly affair also, you require Chanda, Virya, Chitta, Vimamsa. All the four are required. Then we might say, oh, then what's so special about Buddha teaching? Yes, on a limited sense, this is true. But if you are in this side of it, there's no effort. That's a difference. It's effortless. We'll see how that works. So first, we need to understand through the worldly things. It's very easy to understand that really in our life what we are doing. So we require Chanda, interest to going to the office. I require Chanda, otherwise I'll not reach office. Then I require Virya. Today is Monday, it's a blue Monday, blues. Oh, maybe I'll take a day off today. It's a horrible thing. So I might take a blanket and sleep. Why? Because there's no Virya. Okay. If there is no Virya, then what happens? Chitta. Mind is not in Samadhi. It will either go to Thinamida or it will go to Udacha. Becomes restless or it becomes sluggish. Then there is no Mimamsa, investigation. And what you should do and what you should not do. That's Mimamsa. Okay. So basically, if I see going to the office, don't we feel disinterested some days? We do, right? And we go only for salary. Otherwise, there's no other way. So basically, to earn, you have to go. Otherwise, and Buddha Dhamma says that you shouldn't be working. That even more adds it up. It's not like that. It's got nothing to do with going and working and not working. It's a state of mind which is more important than physically going or not going. Doesn't make any difference to it. The first thing is Chanda, spoke about. So there should be Samadhi related to that. Okay. Can be biking, going for walk, like even morning walk. I might feel today I have to go to walk. That's the least of the thing I want to do. Okay, how about gym? Too much of effort. Okay, boss, do you want to sit or not? Yeah, it's too much of effort. What? Sitting too much of effort? Yeah, effort. Okay. So, the more I lax, leaner, the worse it gets into Thinamida. Okay. So now nothing is achievable. Okay. So like Asad or so many people have gone into VRI. So first you need to have an interest, Chanda. That's a Chanda Samadhi. Then he needs to book. He just can't say, I want to go and be there. Nothing is going to work. So you require booking to be done. So he has to find a slot, block it. He's booked it. Then he requires Chitta Samadhi. The mind should be established there. If the mind is elsewhere, it goes for 10-day retreat or 20-day retreat or whatever day retreat. Not going to do anything. So there should be Chitta. Okay. Chitta Samadhi has to be there. And the fourth one, Vimamsa. Inquiry. So if the Goenka technique or whatever technique we are talking about, the Thai or Sri Lankan or Burmese or whatever it is, or even Mahayana, this yana, that yana, if that has to work, then you require Samadhi. You need to be in that state. Okay. If it is not there, you need to see both sides. There, not there. There, not there. If I don't have it, I have to develop it. That is the Iddhi Pada. Pada is feet. Iddhi is success. Put a step by step in such a way that you become successful. That's the meaning of Iddhi Pada. Okay. So steps for success. They write it basis for success. Success is correct. Even basis doesn't seem a right word. It is steps for success. So 4 steps. First step, interest. Second step, what? Effort. Third step, mental development, meaning your mind should be firm on that. Fourth step, investigation. Mimamsa. Mimamsa is the one which helps you in Vipassana. So 3 plus 1. For investigation, you require, for Vipassana means to see it what it is, that insight. For that you require Mimamsa. So Vipassana is more Vimamsa oriented. So you have investigation or inquiry. Okay. So he does all of this. Now he asks this question. And what is enthusiasm that is too intense? That is Katama Bhikkhave Atipagahito Chando. Okay. So when it is tense, it will be restless. Obviously, I have already said that, and it's also there here. It will become restless. Okay. So then, Sankhito. It becomes drowsy. Because there's no interest. It's so constricted that you lose interest. So you feel, leave it. Okay. And then, and what is this? Vikhito. So he has covered all the 3. Atipagahito, Sankhito, and Vikhito. So, Bahidda Vikhito Chando. Yo Bhikkhave Chando Bahiddo Pancha Kamugane Arabha Anuvikhito Anuvisato. So that means the Kamaguna. You remember the Kamaguna, there are 5 Kamagunas into 6. Right? 5 senses into 6. They are Itta, Kanta, Manapa, Kamupa, Samhita, Piyarupa, Rajaniya. These are the 6. So 5 into 6. So they are diffused on account of 5 kinds of sensual stimulations. It gets totally distracted now. He will go into sensuality. Meaning I get bored and then I will go and have a coffee. Or I'll go to a movie. Or I'll go to a club. Or I go somewhere. I'll do something. Maybe I'll start browsing the net. If not anything. Right? It makes sense. Okay. Katancha bhikkhave bhikkhu pacha puri sannicha viharati. Yatha pure tatha pacha yatha pacha tatha pure. Idha bhikkhave bhikkhuno pacha puri sanya sugahita hoti sumanasikita kata su vadharita supati vidha panyaya. So, how does he do it? Meaning, how does he do it? Pacha pure sanni. That pacha is before puri. So, we are talking about before and after, before and after. How does he keep on checking? When he keep on checking, he creates continuity. Yes.
Yeah. How come the translation it like when I click pure it says before and then it says earlier, but yeah, that's
Pachattam vedi tabbo vinyuhi iti. Right? Pacha. You've heard about that, right? So, I mean, what's the question?
no. It's
no.
just it says before and after.
Yatha pure before.
Yeah, before and after. But you are explaining it.
I changed it. Is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry about that.
Pure is before.
Before. Pacha is after. I mixed it. Sorry. Okay, good pickup. So he's saying here that Pacha Puri Sanya, that is before and after, or after and before, because it is, they have put it Pacha Pure. It is not Pure Pacha. Okay. So Pacha Pure Sanya, that means after and before. What is the state of the mind after than before? That will create continuity. Okay. Now, continuity of what? It will either drop. So you have to, samadhi is continuous, right? Samadhi, being in a continuous state, same state, maintaining the state, is samadhi. Sama is equal. Adhi is to establish. Yes.
I guess this in meditation terms, like in the book Sachin recommended it, The Mind Illuminated, it talks about this technique called connecting, right? Seeing, is this breath longer than the next, or the next longer than this? Is this, more heavy than that? So you're always observing the changes, hence you're able to stabilize.
Yes. Otherwise, by nature, the mind is distracting. By its own nature, it gets distracted with so many inputs coming from the senses. So now what I'm going to do is stop that. So Pacha Pure, after and before, I will watch it. Okay. So he says that is how Bhikkhu will do that. And how does a Bhikkhu meditate? As below, so above, as above, so below. So now you see here, he takes the 32 parts of the body. This is from Dhamma perspective. Earlier we spoke on worldly perspective. Now we are coming into the Dhamma. What's the point? So first was Lokiya. Now we are looking at the Lokuttara. So he's saying that he's trying to see from the top of the head to the sole of the feet. Instead of watching the sensations, he will watch this to get the Patavi and the Apo. 32 parts of the body. Okay. Now there's a change from a departure from the tradition, as in the Goenka tradition, into this. So that is a preliminary. And this is on top of that. For that also you require Iddhipada. To sit in the 10-day retreat or 20-day retreat, you require Iddhipada. But here, top to bottom, from the sole, from the head, top of the head to the feet, you are watching the parts of the body rather than watching the sensation appearing in the body. Now we might ask this question, why? Because you have to break the Nama and the Rupa. And you have to break the Ghanasanya. This is treated as one single unit, but it is made up of parts. And hence you need to do that. Okay. So he is talking about that. So he's saying that this is how the bhikkhu will meditate. And by the day, by the night, like that. So, ida bhikkhave bhikkhu yehi akare, which we have already covered, right? You remember on the nama and the rupa? So he has brought that here. Yehi akarehi, yehi lingehi, yehi nimittehi, diva. Okay. Chanda samadhi. Iddipada sankhara samannagatam iddipadam bhaveti to tehi akarehi tehi lingehi tehi nimittehi rattim chanda samadhi padhana sankhara samannagatam iddipadam bhaveti. Why this? Why? If you create the day and night thing as a nimitta, it cuts down the nimitta of the body. What's the point? Normally, I have this body structure. I have the room structure. So I have to give up that. So to make it expansive. So to have to make it expansive, he will observe yatha diva tata rattim tata diva. Okay. Katancha bhikkhave bhikkhu yatha diva tata rattim tata diva viharati. How does he stay? They have used the word there meditate. He is not about meditation. It's about staying. Vihara is to stay. How does he stay like that? He says that idha bhikkhave bhikkhu yehi akarehi, yehi lingehi, yehi nimittehi diva. This is diva, day. He will do it with night. Okay, what does he say there? Diva chanda samadhi padhana samanna sankhara samannagatam iddipadam bhaveti to so tehi akarehi tehi lingehi tehi nimittehi rattim. That is, this is the sign. Okay. This is how it is, the features or the linga. Here it is napumsaka linga. There is no gender, genderless. Otherwise, we are used to genders, male and masculine and feminine gender. So you cut that off. So they will get into this state of a mind where, because of constantly watching the 32 parts of the body, that Ghanasanya itself will not be there. So by the day, by the night, this is how it is done. Yehi akara, yehi linga, yehi nimitta, yehi uddesha. In the day, yehi akara, yehi nimitta, yehi uddesha, yehi linga in the night. That means the body what you have is only 32 parts. There is no person out there. And there is no compactness or ghana out there. That kind of samadhi is what Buddha is talking about. Okay. Then we go there. And how does Katancha bhikkhave bhikkhu vivatena chetasa aparyo nadhena sabbha bhasam chittam bhaveti. Sabbha bhasam means light. Okay, so radiance. So how with an open and unenveloped heart does a mendicant develop a mind that's full of radiance? Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu aloka sanya sugahita hoti diva sanya swadhitha. What it means? When you are sitting for a meditation, you will see light. That is called aloka sanya. Supposing you're feeling sleepy and you want to hit here a few times, you'll close your eyes, you get light. in the center of the eyebrow. You get light. You're feeling sleepy, then you just, and then watch that sensation over there. After that, you will see light. That is Aloka Sanya. So he will create that radiance. The Aloka Sanya is going to come. Okay. Atilinam. So now he is giving the meaning for that. Katamancha bhikkave atilinam viryam. Yam bhikkave viryam kosajjah sahagatam kosajja sampayuktam idam vucchati bhikkave atilinam viryam. That is kosajja. It's a nice word. Kosajja sahagata, accompanied by. Kosajja means what they have put is a right word, lazy. A real lazy feeling. And then he asked this question, Bhikkhave ati pahagat. So it's too tight. Paggahita. Okay. When does that happen? Udaccha. Yam bhikkhave viryam udaccha sahagatam udaccha sampayuktam. Then sankittam, when does it happen? When there is thinamida. Vikittam, when it is happen? When it is kama, guna, arabha. It comes. And this is, you see here, anu in accordance to vikshippa, vikshipta, meaning distracted. So when the mind is distracted, it will bring in the kama guna, and hence we can say vikhitta, scatteredness. Katancha bhikkave bhikkhu vivatena chetasa aparyodanena sappabhasam chittam bhaveti. Ida bhikkave bhikkhu aloka sanya suggahita hoti divasanya swadhittita. Evam ko bhikkave bhikkhu vivatena chetasa aparyodanena sabbhasam chittam bhaveti. So he is using for the same about chitta and also on the vimamsa, same one. So this is how it is beneficial. Mahaphala honti maha nisamsa. So now he can do all of this. So they can do, now they can get into the real psychic power. That will lead to psychic power, but this is siddhi. You have established. Yes, go ahead.
So this vimamsa, yeah, the first three I can understand. This vimamsa is watching the body up and down itself. The vimamsa is vipassana vimamsa. No.
See, the whole vipassana itself is vimamsa. Insight meditation is vimamsa. You get an insight into what is happening. So the 32 parts of the body will lead into the Patavi and Apo. So you have investigated what is there. You have inquired. Right? You have successfully inquired. So what all is happening? First I created a chanda, like what he has indicated there. Then I put a virya. Then the chitta is developed to investigate. And then there's vimamsa. Got it? So we can again go through at least the first one, chanda, because he states it very nicely here. So he says here, So he does for everything, right? Now he is he will do for all. Virya, Chitta, Vimamsa, right? And then he starts explaining this. And they meditate. Pacha pure sannicha viharati yatha pure tata pacha tata pure yatha adho tata uddam tata adho yata diva tata rattim tata divo iti vivattena chetasa aparyonadena sappabhasam chittam bhaveti. Now he starts explaining for each one of them. Atilino chando. Then he will talk about atilino viryo, atilino chitto, atilino vimamsa. For each one. So if we understand the first one correctly, okay. So he says when it is too tense. So we have to see when we are sitting in meditation or whatever we are sitting in Buddha Dhamma. Okay, what is the state of the mind? Its interest is there, but it is with restlessness. I'm restless to get that. Tell me urgently, I want to get it. That restlessness will not establish samadhi. Okay. So he is saying here that this is called tense chando. Ati paggahito chando. Okay. Paggannati is something which is taking you off the point, meaning you cannot establish it. So if we were to look at is pag, to put so much of thing that you want it. So when you want it, it gets restless. Sometimes we do that. I want to achieve. When you want to achieve, it becomes ati paggahito. Ati means more. Paggahito. So paggahito is too tense, too intense. You try to do something. So because of that, it gets into udacha. Now he is talking about sankhita. So we got over the tense thing and now we are coming into sankhita, which is constricted. A feeling where you feel let down. And when that happens, you will feel drowsy. Loss of interest is drowsiness. And same thing will happen with loss of virya, energy, loss of the chitta not being able to establish, and then there's no investigation, vimamsa. Okay. That is the thing. It's constricted internally. Now, what is this scattered externally? He's talking about sankhito internally, vikhito externally. Pahidda. Yeah, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm thinking about this Tinamida, how it's related to Sankita, right? I think in this meditation book, right, Illuminated, it says, if the attention is too much focused and a loss of awareness, then you tend to get into drowsiness because the energy energy level keeps on dipping because it's too much focused on the object.
Exactly.
And is that the reason why he put it like that?
I'll give you a beautiful example. If you have a camera, you have put on a focus, autofocus mode, and you have opened the shutter, but you are not clicking it, then what happens? It will close after some time. Right or wrong? Very simple example. If you have more focus, it will get into drowsy. Sometimes we misunderstand observation to be focused. So we create that attention. And when you create that attention, the attention is very less because it takes all the energy. And after that, interest is gone. Because it didn't get anything. Like that. Okay, so that's the thing. Why scattered externally? Because scattering is always in terms of the object. So when this is not working, the mind will automatically go and attach itself to a sensual object. And hence it goes there. So it gets caught up in 5 kind of sensual stimulus. And that's the reason people going on depression will start eating a lot. We have observed. Because they don't know what to do next. So they crave for food. Because that is vikhitta externally. Okay. Now, he's talking about perceiving continuity. Okay. So he's saying that ida bhikkave bhikkhuno paccha pure sanyas sugahita hoti su manasikata su padharita supati vidha panyaya. That is, he will look at whether his mind is able to stay on a particular subject, object or not. So he will develop that. Now, how should we understand this? Let's say I'm watching the breath. After watching, before watching. After watching, before watching. Just keep on doing it. You will come to see the length of the breath, the quality of the breath. It will be either long or it will be short. Now the mind gets interested in that. It will start associating with it. So then it becomes part of, just like the biking, right? Now it becomes part of it. It's not putting any effort. It's effortless driving. So this is what it is. Okay, that's what we need to see. Now meditate as below or above, so that we spoke about on the body. Same thing will be for all the other 4. That is the virya, then the chitta and vimamsa. So all of them go together and hence creates that iddipada. Ultimately, it leads to psychic power. First, it will be steps for success. Then if the chitta is able to get purified, then you can multiply, you can do all that, what you're saying, it will work. Yes, there you go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to understand this. I guess the overall summary of the main goal of this is to establish samadhi, right? It's teaching you how to avoid all these different extremes.
Yes.
To establish in samadhi.
Correct.
And I guess out of all the qualities, one of the most important is to keep on monitoring this so as before, so as after. This is the most important because you have to constantly monitor your state of the chanda, the virya, the whatever,
Chitta.
the chitta and the vimamsa. So if you can continuously observe their levels, then you can converge into samadhi.
Yes.
And then it'll happen.
Yes, that's right. Yes, Shreyas, go ahead.
Does Vimamsa eventually go into Anupassana, or is it to Vipassana?
No, it includes both. It includes both. See, what happens is the Vimamsa portion of it. We use the word Vimamsaka. meaning a person who can investigate. Investigation has two things. One is the object itself, and another one is that to what depth you can understand that object.
Right.
Right. So first I will investigate. I'll inquire is Vimamsa. Then I'll start investigating what is the nature of that object, which is Vipassana. Right. So now let's take a breath meditation. I start investigating the breath. Then I don't find the breath. I find it as Patavi or Apo or Tejo or Vayu or like that. What did I do? I inquired and I got what? I got the 5 elements with consciousness as a 6th. That's the dhatu what I have got. Now by doing this, what happened is that my illusion is gone that I am breathing. Actually, it's only 5 dhatus. So I got Nibbidha. Then I got Viraga. Then I got Nirodha. Then Upasamaya, Abhinyaya, Sambodhaya, Nibbanaya. Using breath. Right? Along with breath, he is adding the body. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. You keep on investigating. All the time. First, you create an interest to watch what is there in this body. What is there in this body? What is there in this body? Put effort to understand the body. Then the mind will get fixed onto that to investigate. Then you start investigating. So when you investigate, what happens? You get into Anupassana. So what is Anupassana? Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, Nibbidha, Viraga, Patinissagga. It's part of Vimamsa only. It is not separated out of Vimamsa. Because when you inquire, you get 2 portions. One is to investigate and one is to go into the depth and see what really is happening. So it can find it. Good. So that's all what is there in this sutta. Nice sutta, Aryu, for recommending, for sharing. It's a good one.
Yeah. I think you've explained the Bodhisattva.
Except for this. Except for
this is the only thing that's missing.
Yes, it's a good thing that you brought it up. So what we should see is Leena on one side. And if it is too much restless on the other side. Right. If I go in back. Ati lino, ati paggahathito. Okay. So what we should see in all the 4, that it is Leena or it is Paggahita. And again, clarification, Paggahita is too tight. Ati is too much. Yes.
And I guess out of the four steps, the first step is the most important.
Chanda.
Right? So the interest has to be maintained on something. There's a real interest.
Yes.
Otherwise, nothing's going to work. So you have to really maintain a proper interest in something in a balanced way.
Correct. That's the reason the first one is Chandidipada. It's not Vimamsa Dipada. It is Chandidipada. Chanda Samadhi Dipada. Virya Samadhi Dipada. Chitta Samadhi Dipada. Then only Vimamsa Dipada. Yeah, that Chanda Mulaka is correct. That's the Mulaka Sutta. That is the starting point. So without Chanda, you can't do anything. Right. So if we are done with this Sutta, maybe Shreyas can explain. Are we done with the sutta? Anyone, any questions? Janak and Bobby and May and Asad, all clear on this Pada?
Clear as mud.
So then no questions, then even I don't have any answers. If there were to be questions, then there are answers. Okay. So we'll give to Shreyas and Asad, you can also share like you had shared. Be good. Oh, yeah, Shreyas, go ahead.